Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Bryson, and today I wanted to do a sequel to my series, Civil Rights, um, Freedom Fighters, and Humans. This is a little part two, so, I thought, well, I liked the first one, and might as well just do another one, so here I go. Uh, First thing I want to talk about is, freedom. You like your freedom? Well, if you're a white and a male in America, you have a lot of freedom, but if you're not, you don't. Back in the day, black people didn't have a lot of freedom. And like that. Some people thought maybe they should fight for it. Where are they going to go, though? And then one day, one person goes, You know who has a bunch of time and are stupid enough to do stuff that will help us? College kids. Which is smart. Even still today, they're stupid. So, I'm a college kid, too. I'm going to be stupid as hell. So, listen. They get these people, and of course, some freedom fighters. Get them on two buses. Now they're going to Alabama because it's black people, Alabama. It's kind of like white people, KFCs and anyway. So two buses go there, right? But of course, who manages to rise above the most? Who manages to stumble upon? Why, that's Mr. White Man. Because I know I may look like one. Trust me, I ain't no fucking cracker. But hard crackers, racists, specifically the KKK. They went down on the first bus because the police officer had a brother in the K, and he literally said, "You have an hour. You can kill. You can do whatever. You get an hour." They got the first bus, throwing Molotov cocktails and waiting for them to come out. Destroyed it. But before you shed a tear, they were smart. They didn't give location of the second bus. The second bus comes steaming in, and it makes it. To get to the end, you know, everything's honky dory. It's not the best ending, of course, but it was a very important time in history, and is one of the footnotes in the civil rights legendary. Another good story I love, and this is a good one. Mr. A. Rudolph, I believe, if I'm not miscorrecting his name, but that man, I may have talked about him in the first video, but I wanted to go more in depth in him. So imagine this, right? It's World War One, and you're just some black guy from around the town. You're just chilling. You're having a good time. But then you feel a little patriotic. You're tired of all this rationing and all this worrying. You're tired of all this shit. Besides, you're a black guy in America. It's not really the easiest life. So you go screw it. Maybe if I serve my country, I'll get more respect. And side note, you don't. I don't care how much we grow in the world. We'll always face racism. It's just the ways humans are. But listen, you gotta understand that black people didn't have a lot of options. They kind of just did whatever they thought was gonna be best for them. If you fall down the stairs and you stand up, you can't really just look back and go, oh well, I can't believe I made myself fall down the stairs. No, you fucking fell down the stairs. Of course, you can't really say that, because what if the stairs decides, you know what, you're brown enough. Anyway, so this man, he's just trying to fight for his freedoms. At least I believe that's what he is. It could be more of like a just he didn't have the option thing, but I'll be honest with you. If you really came to this channel for history, that's kind of your problem. Anyway, so they get he decides, you know what? This is bullshit. If black people are allowed to clean and cook for America, why the fuck are we not allowed to die for America? Of course, because the armies were segregated, of course. Uh, and I got mad, because this is bullshit. I want to fucking die for my country. I want to have like a little cross, I'll be remembered, fucking name. I want to be in a Call of Duty game. That'd be awesome. So he says, listen, you know what we need to have? We need to march on Washington. And he was gonna do it, but before he did, though, he got a call from Mr. Who? A Mr. President. A ring, ring, ring. Hey, yo, what's good, man? Hey, what's good? It's me, the president. Oh, shit, really? Hey, man, president, can black people die for America? Oh, yeah, sure, that sounds good to me. Alright, later. Love you. What? Nothing. So, then black people, now they can happily die for America. Black people can die for all of the Americas. You can die for China, you can die for Japan, you can die for everyone, but you can die for America most of all. And he, to some, you may think, oh well, it wasn't perfect. And I'll be honest with you, I lied, because guess when this happened? It didn't happen in World War I. No, it happened in World War II. Ain't that shitty? We didn't even get black people die for us in the first war, but we got black people dying for the second war. It's crazy. Anyway, I mean they still died, but you know it's different levels to it. But anyway, it's fucked if you think about it, right? Like, feel like you're dropping a little, you know, a little metaphorically crushing. You get looked down on. You think you're not as good. Why? Just because you're black? Nah. Because you're small? Nah. It's because you're a fucking phone that I can control you? Well, that's breaking the fourth wall, but get back on the shelf, ass. So I might have just butchered this history lesson, but I gave you basically the big parts of it. You know, history doesn't have to be 100% complete. You just have to get the hot shots of it. You know, you look me dead in the eyes and you tell me anything about China besides they have a giant wall and they don't like us, and I'll be surprised. Maybe they like tea. You know, they invented the tea and all that. But yeah. Uh, of course, you know, there are other legends out there. Like, you got one of my favorite people. He's not what you call a fighter, a freedom fighter, or a civil rights fighter, but he was fucking human because he was fucking awesome. We need to give a quick round of applause to James Brown. To the Southerners, he was chaotic. He was crazy. But to the Northerners, I mean, well, the fuck are you doing, you know? Like, you gotta understand this, right? You have a guy who's basically like the evil Batman. Like, you remember that time when Batman's dad was the Batman and he carried a gun around? That's James Brown, basically. He wants to do his thing. You know, he's taking care of the enemy. You sit back. Oh, well, I mean, you know, there's like 3 dead Union soldiers. Fucking. Well, this was before the Union, but like, well, I mean, 3 dead Northerners, you know? I mean, you deserve a couple to get a lot knocked off. But, of course, this man took things a little extreme. But then again, it was the time of slavery. It was pretty much like, well, you couldn't really go more extreme than enslaving the entire race. But, so, how he did it was he would find the people, you know, the people who fought other people to, you know, for the rights and everything, the Southerners and all that, and he'd find Confederates, especially Confederates that killed, you know, Northerners. He'd find them, and he'd just kill them. And you think the gun? No, like a knife or something. And it was fucked up. But then again, these were Confederates, so you're really gonna be sympathetic to them. One day, he meets up with Freglis Douglass. Sorry if I butchered his name. I know his name. I'm just bad with F's. All right, like I could say fuck, but like that's because it's easy. Uh, he meets up with Fredless Douglass, and they have a wonderful conversation. But James Brown gets to the point. He goes, "Listen, we need to have a big revolt. We need to get these slaves out of these plantations. We need them to revolt. I think I only have one way that we can do this." And Mr. Douglas looks at him and he goes, "We're supposed to be peaceful about this. Do you know what they could do to you? Do you know what they did to us? I don't want to see you die just because you believe in something." That's not exactly what he said, but just come with me. And James Brown looked him dead in the eyes, gave him a little smile, a little pat on the back, gave him a little hug. And he whispered in his ears, "Then that's not the right thing to die for." He waved his friend goodbye, and he went to the fort. There was a little island, at least I think it is. They captured it at night. The whole point of it was they were going to take over the armory, and they were going to take over the police stations, and they were going to do it at night, so not a lot of people are going to be there. But they fucked up because two guys got caught by a train conductor, and the train conductor came back and there's a bunch of people, guns around. Southerners surrounded him. Finally, after a long, long time, they have the infamous to them James Brown. And he sits there bloody. He lost the battle. You don't even know. Literally, what the fuck are you expecting him, huh? To win? Trust me, if that history happened, we have a lot more big booty bitches around here. I'll tell you that much. No. I'll tell you what happened. Soldier came in, looked him in the eyes, had his gun. James Brown looked him dead in the eyes, spat at him. Pussy. That Southerner, he was like, you know what? No. Usually I shoot people, but I want to see you hang. He said that in his mind, though, because James Brown, he went and knocked him out. He woke up in his cell, of course, He was taken to the gallows, and all the Southerners, all the people that, owned people, and all the people that, weren't even the fucking majority of the Southerners. Like, you have to understand this, right? Who really was in the War of Civil Rights? People? No. Slaves? No. It was money. The South didn't want to lose their money. They had too much money in slaves. They had too much plantations. I'm not talking like the people. I'm talking like the 1%. The people that, could easily overthrow the government because, hey, we're a bunch of rich white guys. Even if they weren't rich, still, we're a bunch of white guys, So they took little Southerner. They took that little Southern place. They took that, turned it to the Confederacy. Before they did that, though, they looked James Brown in the eyes. James Brown responded just like James Brown would. Suck my dick! And they hanged him. Now, I can't condone his actions too much. But then again, I mean, fighting fire with fire, can you really piss on it, That's more of just a firefight. Anyway. But luckily, though, that was a step too far. Because eventually, the Union, the Confederacy fought. And this is a little history. I like to call this one, how you fuck up something that's supposed to be good, right? This is how you do it. You have this country full of rich people. Well, not really full of them. More like they own it, like most rich people do. And they own it, and they put all their money into one specific thing, slavery. You're trying to abolish slavery, but they have too many cotton field plants. It's kind of like if you want to ban bananas, but you already own the banana factories, you're kind of fucked. So, they said, well, we're not going to do the smart thing and find other ways to gain money, or just saving the money we have now, or literally just fucking paying them, just having a little less money. They go, nah, we want our money. And they separated from the Union, and they fought. And finally, good old Lincoln, he was like, you know what? Fuck, this is actually a really tough battle. And the other guy was like, yeah, I know. Shit, this kind of going on for a little bit. Then, luckily, though, one day, the two big generals, the southern one wants to meet with the northern one. The other one goes down. This is a little tidbit, but you have to understand. This was the main general of the Confederacy sitting down with the main general of the Union. This literally was two guys looking at each other and go, hey, you own a lot of people. Stop that. Uh, sure. Alright. It just fucked off. And of course, we all wish we could say that magically good old Lincoln signed the bill and everyone was happy. And nowadays, everyone's black, but no, sadly. I mean, I'm a little brown, but maybe if I fucking went back a little bit, it'd be something cool. I mean, come on. Don't we all wish we could have that cool thing? For me, height. If I went back in time, I would make everyone so fucking tall. Like, 8 foot would have been like the maximum. The minimum. That would have been so cool. Oh, I give people 3 legs. It's not useful, but you'd be extra fast. I would give women 3 legs. I would give men 2 legs, but I give them an arm in the back. I feel like you could do a lot with that. Anyway, throughout the times, though, eventually began the rise of the KKK, and later down the line, the neo-Nazis. Two of the biggest hate groups in the world. Literally, the definition of hate and racism. Some say they were born because they're racist. No shit. Other people say, a small majority actually, did something called a. Oh, what? Oh, for being a bitch. Because, I don't know if you know this, but when they lost, they got a little pissy. So they just went around killing innocent black guys. I call that a pussy move. I feel like if you lost the war for owning black people and you just go around killing them, bruh, you get no pictures of that move. That move has 0 balls in it. You basically making a sandwich. Anyway, so alright, back to history. After that, of course, eventually though, we had figures like Rosa Parks, Rudolph A, MLK Jr., MX, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. That's an old one, but I thought I'd throw her in there. I don't really. I know the Underground Railroad. I just don't know a lot of good stories about those. I kind of learned a lot of these in American history class. So forgive me if I'm not the smartest person. I know everything about civil rights, but I'll still learn history. And eventually, though, got to the 2000s. Or, well, actually, kind of started more in the 70s and 60s, because one day, a person has a DJ set, right? But then suddenly, though, either it was a fire or a power outage or something, but all of a sudden, the town went quiet. You know why? Hey, wait a minute. It's a little chaotic over here. It'd be a perfect time to slip something under. And so a bunch of people got together. They raided DJ equipment. So now, young black people that never had a dime to their name have full-on DJ equipment. And one little black baby, he went up to a record. He was like, this is cool, it's a little record. And he grabbed it, but then it stopped, so he scratched back. They let go. And it made cool zzz, 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 little fuck. I can't do a scratching sound. Zzz. It's like a fuck. I'm not doing this on purpose. I just forgot what a scratching sound sounds like. So he does that thing, and then he stops himself for a second. He does it again. Saves that in his back pocket, like a good person does. It's at a party, everyone's having fun. It's like, hey, let me show you something. Looks everyone in the eyes. And the crowd lost their shit. This one simple thing sounded really good. And those were the first people. Imagine being there when fire was invented. Imagine being there when the nuke was invented. Imagine being there when the earth was created. For a split second, they heard, for the first time ever, the funk. The funk. And the funk grew, though. The funk got bigger. Can't kill the funk. That day, the funk was born. He rose from the grave, because he was never supposed to die. He came out there, looked around. He saw, you know what? America's too crackety. You know, crackle barrels all around. Motherfucking black people dying too much. You know what we need? We need to bring rhythm. Because you can't be racist if you hear it. Well, I mean, you still can be, but you'll be a lot more open if you hear it more than if you see it. You see the color black, you get angry. You hear it for a second. Maybe you'll understand. Maybe you'll actually vibe with it. Maybe you're just some fucking white guy who has like a CEO job and has a good 401k. He wears suits and tie, and he's just over there like, man, I'll fuck your bitch, motherfucker, the fat dick, cause I motherfucking have it. Just that vibing. And so the funk born though, the funk grew though. First it was Slick Rick, and DJ Funkafresh. I don't know if that's his name. I'm sorry if I butcher it, but it was them. Then it grew, the 80s and 90s. Then you had originals like Wu Tang Clan. I don't know if this is a symbol, but close enough. Wu Tang, yeah. Or I guess this could be. I don't know. I love Wu Tang Clan. I fucking love them. I'm crippled. I can't do it. So, but then one day though, some friends were hanging out. Friends called MC Yella, Easy E. I'm sorry, Easy motherfucking E. Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and then more, but I got bad memory. So, and the rest of them, and MC Ren, sorry, and they got together. And they was like, you know what? I like when we write stuff down and then we sing it. It'd be cool. What? How about we make a song? All right. They sat down. They didn't release Straight Outta Compton. No, they released their first album, and it was really good. Like I think it was No Escape Zone or the No Zone in L.A. and it had Dope Man on it though. I think it had Dope Man. Fucking I haven't heard it in a long time. Or else you have to understand. After you hear Straight Outta Compton, you just forget about all of them. Even even the darkest one in there. But anyway, I can't say it, of course. So I know Brothers for Life. That one, that one gets fucked at the end. But this was before that though. They released that. It's pretty funky. They're like, you know what? People like this. How about we go back? But this time, we just tell them how our lives, how we live in, and what we going through and what we do. So they went, all right, and all of a sudden though, they're chilling, and then some cops roll up, and they do the whole thing. And look what we have here, a couple monkeys moping around, huh? How about you guys? How about you guys go back to the KFC and give me some chicken? Hey, you can't talk to me like that, I'm motherfucker Ice Cube. Boy, how about you get out of my face before I melt you with my heater? They didn't call it heater back then, but I thought it'd be funny. Anyway, so he walks away. Ice Cube says, hey, looks back. What, boy? After a second, looks down, looks back up. Fuck you. Then they get arrested. But, fortunately, though, a white guy comes down and saves them. I haven't seen the movie yet. Anyway, motherfucking Dr. Dre sits down, puts a funky ass beat on, though. And he says, Ice Cube, you got something to say? Ice Cube grabs that mic. He remembers. And he goes, yeah, I got something to say. Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young brother got it bad because I'm brown. And suddenly, the funk grew. The funk wasn't nothing about no slow jam. It wasn't about no funky beats. It was the real shit. I'm talking West Coast murder shit. Real gangster shit. Now, of course, other places were doing it, but the biggest, of course, was NWA. Don't ask me what that means. Anyway, so they do their thing. They're big. Everyone loves them. And then Dr. Dre, he's just he's vibing, he's chilling. He goes through, suddenly, he signs up with Death Row Records. Easy E stays with his, and Ice Cube goes solos. Some arguments happen, some fighting. Next thing you know, Easy E and Dre are at it. Ice Cube doesn't give a fuck. He's like, man, fuck both of you pussies. Of course, he can't really control Ice Cube. Then, sadly though, the legendary motherfucker Eazy, real street goat, got hit with AIDS. This was before their cure. I don't even know if there is a cure. I'm not even gonna lie. And just like Freddie Mercury, although in a different way, he sat in his bed. And I like to think maybe he thought about his friends, his family, his life. And he was like, you know what? I have no regrets. I'm an easy motherfucking E. You know they have to let me into heaven. And he died. Sadly. But then, Dr. Dre remembered. Because Dr. Dre, no matter what he did, no matter how much he had to do it, and no matter how much he struggled, how much he sacrificed, and how much sweat, blood, and tears he put into his music, he never forgot. Eazy-E was still his friend. So one day, he makes a song called Dark Side / Gone. And Eazy-E, there's a little bit in there. And then, it's easy to say you'll leave me when you got everything you want. And the bottom, believe me, you'll find out when I'm gone. But he was gone. Dr. Dre knew that and accepted it. Because at the end of the day, even he didn't stay with them. Maybe they left on their own. They were still his friends, and he still loved them. No matter what fame drove them apart, they were still brothers at the end of the day. Because it's not about the color of your skin or rap music or hell, just the funk. The funk lives on forever. Ice Cube still has the funk. Snoop Dogg got the funk. Eminem got the funk. Ice Cube still got the funk. DDG got the funk. Motherfucking everybody got the funk, alright? If I would just sit here and tell her how much funk they'd be, I'd be here forever because the funk never gonna die, alright? But at the end of the day, these people are still humans. It goes to show, no matter what, white, black, blue, brown, womp tong, bing da bong. At the end of the day, we're all still human. Unless you're like a goat watching this, in which case, fuck off. But if you're human, you'll watch. And I just, at some point, you have to understand. Imagine you, but in the past. That's how the past was. I know we look back at the past and we look back at all the bad shit, right? But the past was as normal as nowadays. Well, not normal, but like it was to them normal as nowadays. You have to realize everything now is how it was felt back in the day. You know? So basically, imagine you in the 1940s. Imagine you in the 1950s. Imagine you back then, right? You would probably grow. It'd still be different, but you're still you. Only thing that changes is the people, ideas, and beliefs, you know? America used to be filled with nothing but Christians. Well, look at them now. Not even popular. It's not nothing against the religion. It's just, you know, maybe if you got some older priest boys, you know, maybe if you got some 20-year-olds, you know, maybe you have to have a driver's license where you can start worshiping God. I think that'd be a lot better, you know? Like, the youths should stay with the youth, you know? You should have, like, the 16-year-old, 20-year-old teachers deal with the kids. And then as soon as you turn 30 or 40, you deal with the adults. Like a grown-up should. That's just me. Anyway, changes, you know? And, just remember one thing, though. No matter what, love yourself. Because there's going to be a day you look around. You can be all by yourself, you can be around everyone. But if you stop loving yourself, then your funk died. And the funk never dies. I enjoyed my time with you guys. Like and subscribe. Peace.